Imagine standing at the edge of a massive forest. Behind you is everything you know: your family, your shelter, the places where you found food, the paths your ancestors walked for generations. Ahead of you is something completely unknown: a dark valley, a distant mountain range, a coastline stretching beyond the horizon. You have no map, no satellite, no guarantee there is anything waiting for you. There might be food, there might be danger, there might be nothing. And yet, someone takes the first step. Someone leaves the familiar world behind. But the real answer is far stranger. Because ancient humans did not explore the world simply because they were fearless. They explored because the human brain was built with something unusual: a desire to discover what comes next, a curiosity that could feel almost impossible to ignore. The same instinct that pushed your ancestors across deserts, oceans, and mountains is still inside your mind today. It is the reason you want to know what is behind a closed door, why you search for answers, why you imagine a future you have never seen. Thousands of years ago, that same ability changed the entire planet. For most animals, survival means mastering one environment. A polar bear is built for ice. A camel is built for deserts. A whale is built for oceans. But humans are different. You're not perfectly designed for one place. You are designed to adapt. Your ancestors survived not because they were the strongest animals. They survived because they could change. They could learn. They could move. And movement became one of the most important forces in human history. More than 100,000 years ago, groups of humans began leaving Africa. This was not one single journey. It was thousands of small decisions made across countless generations. A group followed animals into new territory. Another searched for water during a drought. Another moved because their old home could no longer support them. Each step created another possibility. Each new landscape created another challenge. Eventually, humans reached places their ancestors had never imagined: cold northern regions, dry deserts, dense forests, remote islands surrounded by enormous oceans. Think about what that required. No modern vehicles, no detail maps, no weather forecasts, no emergency services. Only simple tools, memory, cooperation, and knowledge passed from one generation to the next. A person walking into an unknown world was not just exploring geography. They were testing the limits of what humans could survive. But why take the risk? Why not stay where life was already familiar? The answer begins with a problem every ancient human understood. The world changes. A valley full of animals today could be empty tomorrow. A river could dry up. A climate could become colder or warmer. Plants could disappear. The safest place yesterday could become dangerous tomorrow. For ancient humans, exploration was often not about searching for adventure. It was about searching for a future, a new source of food, a safer place to live, a better chance for children to survive. Moving was sometimes the only choice. But humans did something even more unusual. They explored places they did not need to explore. They traveled farther than survival required. They crossed oceans. They climbed mountains. They entered environments with unknown dangers. Why? Because humans do not only think about what exists. Humans think about what might exist. Your brain can create invisible worlds. You can imagine a place you have never visited. You can picture a possibility that does not yet exist. This ability is called imagination. It sounds simple, but it may be one of the most powerful survival tools humans ever developed. A distant island was not just an island. It was a possibility. A mountain was not just a barrier. It was a mystery. An unfamiliar landscape was not only a threat. It was an opportunity. This ability to imagine possibilities pushed humans beyond the boundaries of their old world. One of the greatest examples comes from ancient Polynesian explorers. Thousands of years ago, these people crossed enormous distances across the Pacific Ocean. They traveled between islands separated by thousands of miles of open water. Today, looking at the ocean from a small boat seems terrifying. No land in sight, only waves, wind, and sky. But ancient navigators developed extraordinary skills. They studied stars. They remembered ocean currents. They observed waves and weather patterns. They even used the movement of birds to understand where land might be located. The ocean was not empty to them. It was filled with information. They learned how to read a world that most people would consider impossible to understand. But exploration always came with a price. Many journeys ended in failure. Some people never returned. They faced storms, hunger, cold, disease, accidents, unknown dangers. So what kept humans moving forward? The answer is not that ancient humans had no fear. They did. Fear is one of the oldest survival systems in the human brain. Fear keeps you away from danger. Fear prevents reckless decisions. Fear protects your life. But humans have another system, a system that asks, what if? What if there is something better beyond this place? What if another valley has more food? What if another shore has a new opportunity? This question changed history. Because every discovery begins with uncertainty. Before someone finds something new, nobody knows what is there. The first person to enter a new land is always moving through a world of possibilities. And this is where humans became different. Humans did not simply react to the environment. Humans changed their relationship with the environment. They created tools. They built shelters. They developed new strategies. They carried knowledge from one place to another. Every journey became a lesson. Every discovery became part of human memory. Over thousands of years, exploration created connections between distant groups. Trade routes appeared. Ideas traveled. Languages mixed. Technology spread. A discovery made by one group could transform the lives of people thousands of miles away. But exploration also had consequences. When humans entered new lands, they changed those places forever. New animals were hunted. New environments were transformed. Different groups competed for resources. Exploration connected humanity. But connection always creates change. The explorer was never just discovering a new place. The explorer was creating a new future. A single person walking into an unknown valley could influence generations they would never meet. A small boat crossing an ocean could eventually connect entire civilizations. A decision made thousands of years ago could shape the world you live in today. And perhaps the strangest part is this. Ancient explorers were not a different kind of human. They were not born with special abilities. They had the same fears, the same doubts, the same need for safety. The difference was that they acted despite uncertainty. They looked at the unknown and saw not only danger. They saw possibility. That same instinct still exists inside you. Every time you learn something new, every time you move somewhere unfamiliar, every time you challenge yourself, you are using an ancient human ability, the ability to step beyond what is known. Because humanity was never built to remain in one place forever. Your ancestors crossed deserts without roads. They crossed oceans without modern navigation. They entered unknown worlds without knowing what waited ahead. And they did it because something inside the human mind has always asked the same question. What is beyond the horizon? The greatest journeys in human history did not begin with certainty. They began with curiosity. They began with a single person standing at the edge of the unknown and deciding to take one more step.